guys. Today I'm going to tell you guys real quick how to find the missing angle in a triangle. The big thing you really need to understand, the most important thing, is that all triangles have an angle sum. In other words, if you add all three angles, say triangle, three angles, all triangles have a total of 180 degrees between those three angles. I will show you proof of this at the end of this video. You guys are in the 8th grade. It's good to know. You'll explore the in a great deal in 10th grade when you guys get to geometry. So I'm actually going to start off by showing how to do some of these problems, and then at the end I'll show you a quick proof of why one of the many ways you can show there's 180 degrees in all triangles. Okay, so not 181, not 182, not 179. Every triangle has exactly 180 degrees. Okay, so say for example you were given a triangle like this, right? And I tell you that this angle right here is, I don't know, let's call this 120 degrees, right? And I tell you that this angle over here is, I don't know, let's call it 35 degrees, okay? Well, by process of elimination, since you only have three angles and one missing one, you can create an equation. You can say that we'll call this angle x, what we're trying to find. You can say that x plus 35 plus 120, all those three angles together has to equal 180 degrees. All right, 35 and 120 is going to equal 155 degrees. So I know that x plus the 155 between these two angles is up to 180. All you got to do from there now is you're going to subtract 155, right? If we take away the 155, we'll see what's left over, right? Well, 180 minus 155 is 25 degrees, okay? So what did you find out? That these three angles now add up to 180 degrees. Now, it's going to come natural to some of you guys. Some of you guys are going to take a little work. But if you're ever in trouble, you can go ahead and set up an equation, all right? Do one more like that, right? So let's say I had an acute triangle, right? Kind of acute here, okay? So I told you this was, it's not right, it looks right. We'll say this is 89 degrees, right? And we'll say that this is 45 degrees, okay? Well, then what's this one over here going to be? Well, again, let's give it a name. We'll call it x for a second. We know that x plus 45 plus 89, all those three together equals 180 degrees, okay? Add these two together, 45 and 89 is going to be 134. Oops, I did it again. Why did that? Plus 134 is equal to 180. Now let's go ahead and let's subtract 134 from both. Did I do that right? Yeah. So we'll subtract 134 from both sides, and you'll find out that x is equal to 46 degrees. Okay. So that, I mean, that's about it. But I'm going to show you another couple things that they may throw in there. Okay. What if they say it's a right triangle, right? It's a right triangle. Well, that changes things, right? Because there's no numbers here, but you know that this has to be 90 degrees. Okay, so it's something you need to know, that if they say it's a right triangle, you need to know that one of the angles is 90 degrees. So if they said this is 90, this is 40, what's this? Okay, and again, one of the things you need to know is if it's a right triangle, that these two will be complementary. In other words, there's 180 degrees in a triangle. If that's 90, then I know that these two also have to add up to 90, because 90 plus the other 90 would be 180. So I'm going to show you two ways. We can do it the same way we were. X plus 40 plus 90 equals 180. Or if you recognize it, you could just say x plus 40 equals 90, which is true, right? If I subtracted 90 and 90 here, it would be the same thing. But again, x plus 150 is equal to 180, so x is equal to 30. And again, same thing here. Did I do that right? Because oh my God, see, that's what I get for rushing. I'm sorry, guys. That's what you get for rushing. Okay. X plus 130 equals 180. I'm sorry, guys. I'll slow it down. If I subtract 130 from both sides, right? 4090 is 130, and X is equal to 50. Or if I do it down here, 90 minus 40 is 50, okay? And again, when you're done, if you ever want to check, you take your three angles you got, 50 and 40 is 90, 90 and 90 is 180. You can always go back and check. What if they told you this triangle is an isosceles triangle? So what if I told you it's an isosceles triangle? I'll show you one that's super wide like this, okay? And all they can say is they can say it's an isosceles triangle, or they can mark it off something like this. And what if they told you that this angle is, I don't know, we'll call that 150 degrees. And they want to know this angle. Well, it looks like you have too many missing parts, but remember, in an isosceles triangle, if these sides are the same, these two angles are the same, okay? So I have 2x's plus 150. So I know that an x plus another x plus 150 is equal to 180. Well, again, I'm going to subtract 150 from both sides, and I'll find out that x plus x is equal to 30. Well, again, what number plus itself makes 30? That's going to be 15, right? So I know that 15, so x has to equal 15. Okay. Another way of thinking about this is you could have combined your like terms, right? You could have said x and x is 2x, right? X plus x is 2x. Right? Subtract that 150 from both sides. We'll find out that 2x is equal to 30, and that x is equal to 15. Same thing, okay? So honestly, that's all you should really need to know to get your work done. I will show you a proof now of why this works, using some things that you guys know. There's lots of proofs that a triangle has 180 degrees, but I'm going to show you a very common one that's based on some things that we learned last week, okay? So again, these are two parallel lines, okay? Now, one thing you have to agree is that a straight line has 180 degrees, okay? So that's something you have to understand. This is 180 degrees. This is a straight line is 180 degrees, right? If I measure this across with a protractor, that's 180 degrees, right? Okay? Straight line. Okay? Parallel lines cut by a transversal, right? Well, now let's think about what we knew from last week, okay? Well, we do know this for sure. I know that this angle right here, right, is an alternate interior angle with this right here, right? Remember that from last week? We had that kind of Z shape. We said that there were two identical intersections, right? That these were the same and these were the same. Okay, and now again, I know we kind of messed it up because we added some other things in there, right? But we do know for sure that again, now what? This angle right here, let me do a different color, do it in red. This intersection here is the same as this intersection down here, right? So these are also alternate interior angles, right? So if you kind of, I'll move it away for a second. I move this line away for a second, right? You can maybe see that a little bit better with their alternate interior angles. But more importantly for us, if you guys see there's a triangle in the middle, and let's go ahead, I will put the blue mark over here. Well, what do I know now? I know that a green one, a blue one, and a red one, right? A green one, a blue one, and a red one. Sorry. A green one, a blue one, and a red one all together makes this 180 degrees right here. If I say 180 degrees, right? It's a straight line, right? Okay. And then, but what about down here? So a green, a blue, and a red makes 180. A green, a blue, and a red makes 180 degrees in this triangle right here. So again, without even putting a number on the paper, other than understanding that a straight line has 180 degrees, you can prove this, okay? And so we'll talk a little more about proofs. But honestly, if you guys understand for now that a triangle has 180 degrees, I will take that. We'll sort out the rest of it in 10th grade. Okay, thanks guys.